Jesus says, "It is my act of mercy that your world comes crashing to an end." April 7th, 2015. Words from Jesus through Sister Clare, spoken by Jackie. Clare began, "O Lord, how I wish there were more time. So many souls, so lost, so confused. I wish I could touch more. I wish we could touch more." Jesus answered, "I know. I wish we had more time. I know, but we don't. But everything seems so normal, you know. Buying and selling, marrying and giving in marriage. Yes, the world seems so stable, just like it will go on forever. I know, but it won't. It's deceiving. So much is happening behind the scenes that very few care to know about, as long as they can maintain the status quo. People are responding. They are afraid. Well, at least they are responding. Couldn't we have more time? If you knew what I know, you wouldn't ask that question. Well, every day I struggle with this. The world seems so stable, so normal. If it weren't for what is written in the book of Revelation and for you, I think it would go on forever. Aren't you glad you have me? Oh my goodness, life would not be life, but a walking nightmare without you, Jesus. I know how you feel. I know how you feel because I weigh the pros and cons, and I feel the same way. But we have knowledge of what's really going on, and you don't. It is the status quo thing. Don't upset my apple cart. Let me get these apples to the market, sell them, come home with a profit and go shopping. Just let me live my life. This is where most are at. In the meantime, others are stealthily planning their assault. They rest in their plans because they know the masses are still filling their carts with apples, and as long as that process can continue, they will be happy. Others who value freedom of religion, freedom of speech, justice and security in those things are alarmed and filled with consternation, making plans to escape what they plainly see coming. Others yet are looking skyward, waiting for me to rescue them. Clare, it's happening right before your very eyes, but life before you is lived in layers. To one layer it is the apple cart, to another it is dominance, to another it is freedom, to another yet it is heaven. But all the layers are before you. You each day must choose which layer you're going to live in, which layer is your reality, who is your master, who you will serve. Until one of the layers explodes and takes away the rights of the other layers, and the world is turned upside down and inside out. And looking back, people will say, "How did this happen?" It happened because you chose to live in an isolated layer that appeared to provide all you needed. You didn't look beyond that layer because you were busy succeeding in this one. Then, one day, well, it all ended and left you standing in confusion. If you are one of the lucky ones who are still standing. Nothing will be remembered of the fatness of the land when it collapses. Only bitter memories of what was lost. Then, from the rubble, they will seek me. They will realize their love affair with the world left them naked and destitute. And when they find me, I will embrace them, pour oil upon their wounds, and raise them up in holiness. What I want to say is that you mustn't grieve over those who are left behind. No, this is their destiny, because they chose to live in that layer of isolation, where everything was provided by their own hand, where success was the entire focus of their lives. Yes, they chose this, and the world, being such as it is, left them blind and naked before me. And this I allowed to save their souls, for without it, well, hell is filling up. They are not all bad people, just godless, with no need for God. It is my act of mercy that their world comes crashing to an end. It is my love for them that allows such catastrophe. Only nakedness will bring them to me, hungry for comfort and truth. You see, once a man builds his house on the sand, and the rains come and the floods wash it all away, well, then that man will consider the importance of building upon rock, and I will be there to teach him. So you see, what is pending and inevitable is merely my provision to bring my children back to me, in spirit and in truth. Yes, it is harsh. Yes, it is brutal. Yes, it is seemingly unfair, but none of this occurs to man when he is busy exploiting the very poor of third world nations to buy his teenage son a car or build a luxury home. All that matters to those of this mindset is the bottom line, and so they will experience the reality of the bottom line of other nations. Nations that looked to you, for example, in lifestyle, and yet were hopelessly captive in a subservient culture and economy while you continued to prosper. It is very, very sad, Clare. But you don't see how these people are exploited, and did I not create seed for the sower? But now greedy and wicked men scheme to find ways to force the poor to buy their seed? How much worse should I allow it to get? The cries of the poor reach my ears every day. They suffer the lack of even medical necessities, while in your country the medical establishment runs the lives of even the middle class and finds newer and better ways to get more control for more profit and flourish at the expense of the innocent. Oh, it is corrupt beyond all reason. Why should my father allow it to go on for even one more minute? We have tried to turn the hearts of men, but their lust for primacy and luxury in the world has completely blinded them to their unjust lifestyles. Normally, I do not bring these things up to you, but I want you to understand. The facets of corruption I must look upon every day are overwhelming and cry out for justice. And what is worse is the architects of these cultural crimes do not see they are destroying the very basis of their lives by continuing to squeeze out every penny from the poor. Yes, this is only one facet, but it gives rise to unrest, hatred, despair. There is a reason Muslims rejoice in martyrdom. It's their one chance for happiness in a hopelessly corrupted and convoluted world. Living for a cause overshadows the pain of want and restores a man's sense of dignity when nothing is left to him but to die honorably. So Satan has offered a chance for man to redeem himself and live in heaven with all the things he could never have on earth because of injustice. Should they not hate those bankers and world leaders that prey on the poor? Many of them choose. There is another sense of accomplishment: destroy the whore. This too is honorable. So you see, this problem is hopelessly complex. But when I come back to rule and reign, the iron rod will break the backs of those who would steal and denigrate even the lowliest human. Justice and honor shall be available to all who seek it. Opportunity to live honorably with a true vocation and necessary education will be available to all. And yet, no one will prosper without God. No one will in the beginning even conceive of life without God. Without a serious devotion and desire to serve me, everyone will see the necessity of living in God, except those who are without a conscience. We must start over, Clare, from the bottom up. There is no other recourse. Do not lose hope. I'm coming to set it straight. We will get it right, I promise you. In the meantime, try to look forward to a vacation in heaven, even though I know part of you wants more time to help. I love you all with a love that only your God could have, a sacrificial love, a love that yearns to be spent to bring just one more soul in. I bless you and ask you to continue to refine your lives, to make more and more room for me, and one day your suffering, prayers, and hard work will be rewarded.